Okay, we are going to get back. So we are, or my first table started that are on the other monitor. We are 22 out of 104 on a big antes, $22 no limit hold'em. And chance we are trying to have an update every day for I think at least 20 days, probably for the whole month, because I'm going to release it one update at a time, and some days I did write more updates. And right now we are having just 7 days of material translated to English, so we are translating more of the material all the time. There will be some hands, there will be something interesting, and we'll see if I'm doing something similar this year as well. And Ugly Brat, oh hi to you. So we got a new English member from Switzerland, I guess. And usually on the players I'm starting to take note of them after 15 hands. If they are far away from what I think will be optimal play, I'm going to mark them pretty instantly, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to play more games against them, and if I'm going to play more games against them, I'm going to know if they are good or not. So that's something that I'm trying to do, that I'm trying to mark the players I want to play more pretty instantly. Yeah, chance I'm saying that I already started the $50 project, but it isn't translated yet. That's exactly what I'm saying. I wouldn't have been playing here the Sunday Millions and the 155s if I would have started it yesterday or today with $50 on my account. But I think it's going to be, even though it's going to be translated, it's still going to be an interesting project for you to read about. And yeah, welcome for Ugly Brat on the English side of things, and hope you see the forum also, that what we have there right now. We are going to try to do some more English content and focus on that, but right now we have just started and we are doing our best to improve. On the Finnish side of things, I think we are having almost 9,000 messages and like 35,000 chat messages. So we are a bit farther away in there than we are on the English side. And we have started just 3 months ago, so the project is still, or the project PokeriMania is pretty early on. I have a pair, a weak flush draw. Pair and weak flush draw. If he has an ace, then I'm having the flush draw always open. I'm going to ship it in. I think I have some fold equity there, and I'm not completely dead. If he has a flush draw, he doesn't have a better pair, and if he has a better pair, my flush draw is alive, so I'm pretty much always having at least 40% equity there.
And there's always room to fold.
Yeah, there's always fold equity as well. And now we are getting the spot I like. Me likes bubble with big stacks.
Ah, so there's 254 left and 252 places paid. So 2 more to go to get to the prices.
Yeah. Should we a bit edit the table? You can raise the headset to the so that we can get place for your coffee cup. We are having a bit of a
Messy table situation.
messy table situation. That's why we are aiming the webcam high so that you can see the messy table. I'm such a slob.
I can see that hand again. Ace, queen of clubs. It will haunt me till the death.
And we are going to play the ace queen of doom.
Oh, it's good to see that Ugly Brat found our own chat as well. Welcome. So does it mean that we don't have to look for 2 chats anymore?
We are going to look at Justin TV's chat on the other screen as well, if there is someone else to chat so we can see them. And of course we are watching the Finnish chat as well, and then we have some tables on the other screen.
Oh, did you say that we like to multi-table a lot?
Yeah. We are in position against 2 weaker players that have checked. Think they are going to call us too often for it to be profitable for us to bet the flop. But if they are going to check twice, I think it's kind of an but then there also that is probably the drawiest board available.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me saying that's my pot and I want it now, because they have checked twice, they shouldn't have much, and I should get the pot pretty often. And now we actually got the pot with ace queen by making the other guys fold.
Ah.
So perhaps that could be a good strategy.
Yeah, let's try to bet instead of call.
But that's something that's like, I think that's critical in the way of poker thinking, that the raiser usually has an edge in the ways that he's going to have an option to make people fold, but the caller doesn't have the same edge. So that's why most profitable poker strategies depend on aggression and making your opponents fold. But basing your game only in bluffing a lot isn't the most profitable way, because you are going to get called by better hands if you are bluffing all the time with every hand. So you need to keep some kind of balance there, but you also need to use the edge that you are getting from raising.
There was somebody worried about me and my power at the end of last session before the break. So this is my solution. A huge cup of coffee. So I hope that caffeine will help me to stay awake and alerted.
And because she was nice, she cooked some coffee for me as well.
But it was happy to hear that, was it Markus who was offering her his services for us, that he could come here instead of me and whisper you some fishy stuff so you could get into the fishy state of mind. I'm just too afraid that we have to plan that a lot ahead, because he's far away and won't get in here in time.
He lives in the far, far away land of Riihimäki.
Or United Kingdom, as it is called in
Skype.
nowadays.
It was funny that it shows that Riihimäki is part of United Kingdom in Skype. I think someone is wrong.
Or maybe there has been some conquering going on in Finland we don't know about. claim this city to be mine. By Queen of England. That would be newsworthy though.
And when he calls, I think for a regular kind of player, ace is a very good card to carry on with our bluffs because it hits us, and for his showdown value hands, it's going to be harder to call.
What?
And he has 9-4.
And
so
you said he's a wreckish.
he's reggish, like 17/15.
And you bet 2 streets with a crap, well, basically a crap hand.
I bet 2 streets.
Yeah, you bet 2 streets, and third street you get the
Nuts.
and he's calling you with the sickest hand ever.
9-4.
It is a huge cup. That's how I like my cups. Plenty of room for caffeine. Like my wine glasses. I have extra large wine glasses. They can hold a whole bottle at once. I have tried that only with water, just to be clear, but it's true.
And hello Vernon Backs. Welcome back. Today
Hello.
we are doing a Sunday grind, and even though we said before that Dayah wouldn't be joining me today, she got better and now she's here with me, so we are having some probably more interesting tourneys today because it's Sunday. We are having Sunday Million with probably the fishiest table ever in the history of the game. There are like all the players that I like to play against, which is kinda awesome.
Yeah, actually we are Finnish, but we live in Estonia, so it might be a bit confusing. Sorry for that. You can continue.
And Tran, you can read a bit more why we are living in Estonia and that we are Finns on the blogs on our site. So, and there should be something interesting for you as well to read. There is like a project from $50 to 5k that will be updated every day. And there are already 4 Riihimäki based users in PokeriMania. That's great. I think Riihimäki will have some kind of like Riihimäki isn't that big of a place, but they are having an active poker community. I think they are doing a lot of bar free rolls and stuff, so
It's like own department of PokeriMania in Riihimäki.
but it's great. Actually, this ace-10 would have been a bet on the flop, and now I just missed the c-bet because, as I said before, you need to have a reason to not c-bet. And then when I c-bet or delayed c-bet, then I get slightly screwed because there are a lot of draws open, so I don't believe that he has only kings. And now the backdoor draw gets there, and then I'll be scratching me head. This is probably one of the hands that us Finns can say that we are hating our lives right now, but depends.
No, it can be a huge bluff, but if it's not a bluff, what can you beat there?
Yeah, I can just be the bluff, so my hand is a bluff catcher essentially.
Because I think basically all the other hands that are not the bluff are beating your hand.
But I should have bet the flop there. I did a mistake by not betting the flop.
Yeah. Oh, good luck for Vernon Backs for your Sunday storm.
We are already out of the Sunday storm, but it doesn't matter as long as we are in the Sunday Million. And we have been out of many tourneys today. There's an interesting tourney that popped up. I'm trying to make them all fit the other screen.
Maybe you can put it here because we don't need that up part.
Yeah. Any other good scores this week? Well, you can see my blog that January was pretty much awesome run during the whole January. I played like 20 hours and I won about 5k, so it's nice run. But not another good MTT score. But I think like this week, after the MTT score, I had a 1k day, and then I had a one worse day that I won like $300. But this has been a good week poker wise.
And I got a new mouse. Yay! If that's somehow related to running good in poker-wise, computer-wise at least.
You are not running good computer-wise when you are sad that you couldn't even smash your mouse but it still got broken.
Yeah. I was kind of sad because I have never smashed my mouse anyhow, because I'm not tilting in that way. And still there is one certain button that is not working correctly all the time, and that's my quick button for all in. So now I have some extra mouse, which is otherwise really good. I like the shape of it. It's wireless and it's like awesome, but perhaps I have been all in too many times during that time of that mouse, so now I've got the new one, and it was pretty hard to find because I think you said something that they don't make those anymore, that model.
Yeah, they were really hard to find in Estonia. But the model of the mouse, it was done like 4 years ago, but the mouse is great. It has enough buttons and it works on every surface available. Like you can play everywhere if you are with your laptop. Oh, we hit Christmas again. Like deuces have been really good for us and ace queen hasn't.
There was set against a flush draw on the flop on the other screen, and we got the pot.
Depends on how many players are there in the $700 main event, but I presume that you probably can't have more of an edge than 15-20%, because it's still a turbo structure, the main event, and there will be most of the good MTT players will be playing it to score high on the leaderboards. So the field will be really hard. Actually, I think 10% is more likely. And you can modify the Kelly's formula to find out the absolute smallest bankroll to play it. And I think that absolute smallest bankroll to play it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 to $150,000. But I think the sensible bankroll to play the T-Coupe main event would be somewhere closer to $350,000 or $500,000. So it's kind of a high roller tournament, and I won't recommend it to most of the players. It can be a good tournament to play if you are playing like a VIP bash that has a lot of bad players, and also it has a lot of overlay for your FPP points. So if you are effectively paying just like $250 to enter it, but most of the time I'm saying that you are playing a too big of a tournament if you are playing the T-Coupe main event. And I think there are better T-Coupe events, because the turbo events with the rake and good field aren't probably the most profitable tournaments. I need to actually check how much time there is left since we bought the mouse, because it would be good to have an extra mouse like it. So is it because I have broken one mouse in a similar way that it started double clicking with another button, that it occasionally when you press it once it clicks it twice or it doesn't click it at all. And when that happens, you are like, when I tested her mouse, that if it's a hardware problem or a software problem, I did shove it in with something like Jack Deuce on $100 sit and go, because it was the next table to pop out. So it almost became quite expensive test for me. But then we knew that the mouse is broken and we need to send it back and see if the warranty guys are going to honor their warranty. We have bet the flop. He usually doesn't give up the flop. And turn goes check check. We are going to try to steal the pot. And he had a king, but he didn't value bet the king on the river when turn got check check. That's a bit surprising.
Eros is asking what I do when I make a big tilt. I don't break stuff. If I tilt more emotionally than physically. And
you can hear her tilt, even though there are 2 doors between us.
I might be using some bad words. I shouldn't be. At least by now I know when I have to push the stop button, that I have to just stop registering some more games and playing sit and goes as well. So I'm getting better at that, but still I think I need to learn a lot more how to control my emotions when everything's going really shitty, to be honest. If there is like 1 or 2 or 10 bad beats, no worries, I can handle that. But when it's 1 hour straight, when I lose 20 coin flips and all the situations when I made hit, which I see, then it's getting really, really hard, and then I just need to take a break.
For me, I think I have broken like 3 mouses, and once when the games were still running and I needed to run to get another mouse. But then I bought a really expensive mouse that's also a really good mouse, like the Logitech's Performance Mouse MX. I think it's pretty much the best mouse that you can buy, because it has enough space for all the hotkeys that you pretty much need, and it's really easy to use, works everywhere. And also Dayah used another wireless mouse, but it was a mouse that you needed to physically switch the batteries if the batteries were dying. And if you need to switch batteries when the batteries are dying, you are going to lose money in your games. And
a lot.
The performance, and if you are going to tilt as well when it happens. And the Performance Mouse MX is really good because it's a hybrid mouse, like hybrid mouse in a sense that it's a hybrid between a mouse that's wired and wireless. So most of the time it's wireless, and once a week you can just plug in a cable to charge it up and it works instantly. If it complains to you that it doesn't have enough power, it's really easy and quick to start loading it, and you can use it all the time when it's reloading.
Yeah, the other mouse was really nasty in that sense that you had to put it on a different spot where it charged. It was on top of a piece, and then you obviously couldn't use the mouse anymore. And of course it's a bit sucky situation if you need to use your mouse and you cannot because it's charging. it was the worst mouse ever. I think we just got rid of it too late.
Yeah, but when I bought a more expensive mouse, I hadn't smashed it as much, but I have broken the gravity scroll wheel on this mouse. I have smashed probably I don't know. I have smashed it probably around 5 to 10 times, but I haven't broken it. So that's something that's... If I'm going to do a mouse smashing tilt, I'm not doing it because something happens on the table. I'm most likely doing it because tech doesn't work. I hate when tech doesn't work. King 10 suited. It will be an interesting hand, because I'm thinking that against a regular it would be a shove there. I'm thinking that can you also 3-bet small there, or can you even call there, but calling isn't nice. I would have called if calling would have been that I would have been in position, like I would be on the button, but when I'm on the small blind, calling is suddenly much less fun when you need to be playing guessing game after that. And so I chose the weaker option, and it might be that it's and actually Vernon Backstad says that you should read the book The Mental Game of Poker by Jared Tendler. I have read it, and I have also read the next poker book that Jared Tendler has written, The Mental Game of Poker 2, and it's actually really good for the aspiring pros because it is deeper in the sense that you get deeper in understanding what do you need to do when you are playing more professionally. And there is some things that you can learn from books or you can understand, but it's still really hard to act on the knowledge. Like you know something, but still you are doing a worse option than you know would be optimal. So that's something that's really hard in poker. That you might know something, but you just can't get it to action. Sometimes it's like that, can you do the ballsy bluffs when you need to, or can you manage your bankroll in every situation that you are only playing games that you are winning most in, that are the most sensible games for you to play. So there are a lot of challenges, especially when you are start thinking about playing poker professionally, because you need to be in good mental shape and you need to be able to learn and also put what you learned into action. If that's probably a kind of weird thing to say, and I think that my mental translation isn't probably the best here.
I think they got what you tried to explain. By the way, Ugly Brat, you said you put a new hand to our hand analysis. Congratulations!
The first one!
The first one on the English forum. Thank you. We will be watching that later on after this whole thing has gone to the final table and see how's your hand looking like.
The whole thing doesn't need to go to the final table if Sunday Million goes.
Okay.
Oh,
there is one thing that made me smile, and there is again one more I don't know, unexpected table to be popping out. So now we have as many tables as a backup as we have on the main screen.
And actually, Wernbach said that mental game of poker helped your golf game a lot. I think the mental game of poker is one of those books that it's not going to just help you with your mental game in poker, but it's going to help you with the mental game of life as well, because there are a lot of spots that it's easy to tilt in life, but if you are if you are injecting logic into what you are doing, it's also going to make your life quality better. And also, when you say that it's hard to bluff in golf, I think Dan Ariely, that's economics researcher, I think in MIT, and he's doing a research on how people are dishonest. And when he does a research on how people are dishonest, he found out that people are cheating a lot in golf. That people are still feeling good, but they are cheating in golf, which is slightly interesting. I'm thinking there are two options for tables, and I'm taking the hyper because I'm trying to be hyperactive.
Can you show that message from Virpa? What is he saying?
You heard a story about a walrus trying to turn into a unicorn. Any insider information about that?
Oh well, I had a small accident, and
high-speed mall crash.
It was almost like of an heads-up situation. And for our English friends, no, they are not trying to insult me by saying me or calling me as a walrus. That comes from another place. I was writing to another poker forum under a name Mursu, and that was a Finnish version of walrus. And then I told on the forum yesterday that I fell down and I hit my head, and there was a size of a half a ping pong ball. What is it called?
Bump
on my forehead, and it looked really nasty, but I think that since I got so much ice on it so fast, it's not colorful at the moment, and it's not even that visible, and I still have some of my hair covering it, so it doesn't look that bad. But I was afraid that it was gonna be purple or red or orange or something in between, and it would have looked like somebody has been hitting me. So that was the reason that it could have been a good option to stay away from this coaching if that had happened.
Kaleon, it's a good point that I can resize the chat window, and I tried to resize it a bit, but I pretty much can't get more than a bit because I want to have the tables as large as possible and the HUD as large as possible. So there is like some part, and we are probably doing a chat that's going to be a better chat to resize, but right now it works like that. And Tran says that behavioral economics knowledge helps with poker as well. Yeah, I think so too. And as my university background is in economics, so, and hers as well, I think that helps a lot with poker. And I know a lot of poker players that are having the university background in economics. And here I'm trying to pot control a bit with nines, because I think that, and now I pretty much know I have the best hand, and I want to have a crying call from king high or something. And behavioral economics is something that I'm interested in, and I have read everything that Dan Ariely wrote, and pretty much like to stay on top of what's written about the behavioral economics. But Dan Ariely is a really good tip to look up because he has a knack for writing. It's not the dry academic text that some academics do. It's more of text written for real people to understand, and it's also the experiments that he does are usually they are really interesting ones. And Markus is now trying to see how illogical I am by saying that I started problems with computers thread in here, even though I hate when tech doesn't work. We hit it quite nicely on, oh, he's all in, $700 to call. This is an Insta Snap call, or I don't know which one is faster, Insta call or Snap call, but I'm choosing the faster one. Like now we got it with aces against kings and we held. This is the first time we do it this way around. We have done it once or twice the other way around, and it's much more fun this way around.
No question about it.
And on the hyper we are seeing that when the stacks are so low, we are getting it in, or we should be getting it in on pretty many hands on the future, and the players remaining should drop quite dramatically. So Eulosboro gave Ugly Brat an answer, so our hand analysis forum is working pretty quickly. And Vernon Bax is in the money in Storm. That's
Yay! Good job. Till the end.
How many players are getting in the money in the Storm? So, like, how close are you to the final table? I think the Storm has become a huge tournament lately, and I think that it's going to be the next Sunday Million, but the Sunday Million like light edition when they are getting constantly over 100,000 players there. 40 big blinds on the 40 big blinds on the bubble, and I think that's one of the larger stacks, so you are having a really good stack there.
So almost a final table if there is only 6,300 left.
That's something like 70 tables.
Just crush them all. Go for it. Go for the big prize. That's what we all do. We are always going to for the big prize. And at the moment I think the biggest prize is gonna be anyway in the Sunday Million. And we have some 20 big blinds there, so we still have a fighting chance.
Yeah, I think that we haven't run that well in the Sunday Million, but everything is still possible. We are not giving up and the table still looks great.
That's true. We don't want to get moved out of there.
That would be horrible. But I think before Sunday Storm was Sunday Storm, I was 72nd there or something. And that was, I think, somewhere around $400, but it's very frustrating when you are almost at the end of a tournament that gives a ton of money for the winner, but like when you are 72nd, you get practically nothing. Calleon, my math might be a bit bad, but how do you get 6,000 players in 70 tables? Of course it's going to be 700 tables and not 70 tables, so I think you are correct. I was trying to squeeze them into 90 player tables, but when a card deck only has 52 cards, it probably wouldn't work that well. And it's also bad in the storm because you pretty much know in your heart that when you are going there and you are hitting the 80th or 70th, you are pretty much knowing that it's going to be the run of your life. Which is kind of sad, and when it doesn't end well, it's kind of really sad.
But I think that's the trick in MTTs. It's never just sad, it's always a really good or really bad.
Yeah, and usually it's also that it's going to be hard to play games that are seating like 600 players. Because most likely you are going to be thinking about what if. If you don't win it, you are going to think about what ifs. And if you are thinking about what ifs, you are not happy. Only the winner in MTTs is usually happy. I was in the Supernova free roll, I was 27th, I won something like 2.8k from it, and I was really angry after the game. I think there is like 100k for the winner and 5 picks for everyone in the final table, and of course the bust out hand is something awful, as usual. And it's, even though you win 2.8k, so it should be a good day, but you can still be really angry to yourself, to the world, to everything, because you didn't win it. So that's why mega field tourneys are hard.
Well, they are always really frustrating. And maybe that's one reason I could never play just MTTs. Because there are so many long times when you just don't get a big hit or anything, and it will get mentally very difficult to handle, and it's just not worth it for me, for my personality.
Let's put now the big antes back. We registered here when there was just 45 players and thought that there will be overlay. And of course, when we think like the movies that there will be overlay.
There never are.
But on stars, there pretty much never is. So it's 2k guaranteed, we got 2.5k. But we are having a nice chip stack and we are chugging along nicely.
Tran is asking if you think that Interpol is one of the top 10 MTT players of Finland.
I don't know enough of the Finnish MTT scene, but I think I respect his game quite a lot, and he's one of the guys that's playing the biggest average buy-ins right now in Finland. So I think that Interpol pretty surely is one of the top 10, or at least at the very top. I think someone like Emeria is probably the highest end, or Lars Lusak when he's playing is probably the highest end of the players in the Finnish MTTs. But I think Interpol is one of those players that's one of the best of those regs that are playing constantly high volumes. So I think that, and Vernon backs, there's huge overlay in T-Coupe number 1. Well, that's kind of only place where the overlays happen are the big tourney series. And on Turbo MTTs, I think just their rake is so high, so you'll pretty much need to have some overlay for make them worth your while to play. And T-Coupes are a bit better because they are running a lot of satellites to them, so you are probably getting your money's worth. And now we are getting slightly. I don't want to take anything that's not a turbo, and I'm wondering which would be the perfect game for me to take. Hotter is... I just looked at Hotter 55, but it's 0.55.
Yeah,
Nope.
let's not go there.
Nope, nope, nope. I don't see that many good games, turbos. I don't like to play the $109 turbo because I don't think that if it's not a Hotter, I probably don't have that much of an edge there because they are not running a lot of satellites there. So if I'm playing a turbo, it's usually for a game that they have a lot of satellites so that the field is easier. And I don't think that most of the players have much edge in the $109 turbos, so that's something to take into account. I like even the hypers a bit more because hypers are only having 2% of rake, and I think players are also playing worse when there are big antes from the start. So that's something that I like, and also the average length of the games is a lot shorter. I'm probably adding some rebuy turbo 180-mens into my set. 7 big blinds, antes, turbo. The Queen 9 off, it's probably on the edge that if it's profitable or not, but I'm probably willing to take a small minus EV edge here to keep my stack, even after blinds pass me, to keep my stack as a as a threat, but as a credible threat. That's what I was looking about. What is the correct word for that? Markus, why I don't usually do last longers, because last longers usually make you play worse because then you have incentives to slow play it and not drive it. So usually I think that the last longers aren't going to be profitable for either side. And I'm thinking that if I take the rebuy sit and go, it's going to be a better game. Or take 2 or 3 of those, it's going to be a better game than the $7.5 turbo. And I don't like any diamond on the river, but well, you play what you get.
Good night for Kauris. It was nice to have you, and we will definitely are going for the Sunday Million final table if it's up to us.
We will be trying that.
And sad to hear that Vernon Bax is on a bad shape in Sunday Storm. But 10 big blinds, it's not a disaster. You can always double up and triple up and stay alive, so don't lose your hope yet.
Yeah, Callum, I think PP Platform is one of the players that is very good in sit and goes. I don't like him at my tables at all. Well, I think he's one of the better regs there anyways, and having him in position and now having also Nosferatu in position, I don't like my spot that much anymore. Although now it doesn't matter that much because we are having a shove stack, so it pretty much negates the advantages of position that they get. If we are seeing a rebuy, we can cover up what's the optimal strategy for rebuys. But as long as we don't have a rebuy on screen, With Jack 9 off, I think that it's better to min-raise fold than to shove here, especially as the guys are pretty tight behind me. And Vernon backs, you said that Sigmund is better than all, but Sigmund, I don't think that Sigmund has played anything else than live tournaments. I don't think that he has played like any online MTTs ever. Or when he has played some power poker bounty tourneys when he was the pro for power poker. And Vernon Backs asked, have you guys ever been to Vegas? That's something that needs to be in the bucket list, but we haven't been to Vegas yet.
We haven't been to Vegas together, but I have been to Vegas before I ever even met you.
Yeah, you have been to Vegas.
But we could go there together as well. I was in Vegas for a long weekend with my friend quite a few years ago when I was spending my year in States, and I was 21 at the time. No, I was 20. So basically I wasn't even allowed to go into the casinos playing for real money, and to be honest I didn't even know anything about poker then, and that wasn't on my list to do, but maybe someday we will have a chance to go there together. It would be a blast.
We have been to Gibraltar together, and we have been to PCA together, and actually she has won a live event, EPT side event, being the first Finnish female to win an EPT side event.
And we have been to quite a few places together since we like traveling, and we definitely love cruising. So we have 3 cruises altogether, and they have had multiple destinations per each. So it has been a blast to go on those, and it's something we really have to redo at some point.
On Sunday Million we are going all in with the queens, and we are just hoping that he doesn't have kings or aces.
Is this the part that we have to cross our fingers? Yes.
Tens.
Tens are good, as long as they hold. Yay! We won.
With king queen off, it's a mandatory call. The hand is just too strong, and he's going to be playing a lot of hands when we have only less than 7 big blinds, and with antes taken into account, a lot less. And now we have our first rebuy to come. And Julos Pro said that Sigmund has played big PLO heads up entities on FTP, but that's about it. And chance, yeah, the Justin TV app for iPad is expensive, and I don't even know that does our stream work with a mobile device. If someone has bought Justin TV for a mobile device, you could say us if our stream is working for mobile viewers or if it's not. But we don't have anything to test it on yet. And also we think that when we are having this, that it's full HD, it probably would be hard to see on a small tablet screen, but I might be wrong. It might be good on a iPad or something with a good screen.
Too bad that Markus didn't win that Vegas trip, because he could have sold that to us. Oh, that would be awesome that we could just build a package with some side events at the VSOP and just put some markups to cover the hotel expenses and traveling, and then just sell pieces to our forum members.
But I think like in VSOP it's not that good place to be, because it's going to be taxable income, even though it's just 20% for Estonians. But when you are also getting taxed by the American ways, it's not going to be good. And we are starting our break, so we will be back in about 5 minutes. See you soon.